This is Killer Kyle, and welcome to Wheels of Fury. And I guess before we talk about what we're going to talk about today, just to mention watching Raw. I didn't watch Raw. Kyle, I know, watched it. We're talking about the whole thing with, and keeping the theme for this episode, talking about Brie Bella and this whole controversy with what she did to Liv Morgan in the match. Now, I mean, in my perspective, I get it, because accidents happen. A lot of people blame Seth Rollins for injuring a lot of wrestlers, so it's like...
Yeah.
So, it's just another one of those things where... And it kind of, to me, it was kind of dumb, though, because...
I know.
Brie trying to do the it kicks, and, like, I don't know how that connected with Liv's head, so...
Yeah. I mean, it could have been very easily one of those things where I missed timing and judgment, and it can go wrong very quickly.
Yep. Yeah.
Now, I mean, you know, anytime a wrestler has gotten seriously injured, it's never really been intentional.
No.
I mean, look at the times Triple H blew out both his quads. One was on a save on a submission, the other one was on a spine buster.
Yeah.
I mean, talking about Seth Rollins, okay, him kneeing John Cena in the face and breaking his nose. Chris Benoit diving through the ropes and a match against Booker T, and Booker T moves and he damn near breaks his back, crashing into the announce table, and other things like that. But I mean, that just goes to show you, well, it's fucking pro wrestling, not ballet.
Exactly. And, you know, I'm gonna say that until I'm fucking blue in the face. Professional wrestling is not fake. I don't know what the definition of fake is to you fuckers. It's real as anything.
Yeah.
You know? If I kick you in the face, you're gonna feel it. If I suplex you, you're gonna feel it. So what part of that is fake? Yeah, the storylines are fake. So what?
Yeah, the storylines are written, the winners of the matches are predetermined, but other than that, shit ain't fake, shit's real.
No, and I mean, I don't like sports, but I'm not gonna go on and say that, oh, people like Mark McGuire take steroids to further their baseball career, I guess. Like, I don't know, it just, like, it still pisses me off.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't like pro wrestling, that's fine, but, you know, telling me it's fake, it's bullshit.
One thing that I thought of when I had heard about what happened to Brie was, okay, both Nikki and Brie come back after a fairly lengthy absence. They're hyping up the Evolution pay-per-view. They had a tag team match and a few singles matches, and they were talking about having Ronda partner with Nikki and Brie against the Riot Squad. So you take Brie out of the equation, and depending on the severity of the injury sustained by Liv Morgan, does that mean it would be like Nikki and Ronda against Ruby and Sarah Logan? Or what are they going to do in that instance?
Well, you know, and that's the thing I also heard, is that, oh, now Liv Morgan and Brie Bella hate each other in real life. Well, like, accidents happen, and I mean, you look at Draws and D'Lo Brown, and, you know, Draws has forgiven D'Lo Brown, basically, for that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the risk that people take. You know, it's almost like That's why it pisses me off so much when people say that wrestling is fake. You go in the ring, you risk your own life, and shit can happen anytime.
Anytime you sign up for a wrestling school and you do all the training, and then maybe you get on the independent scene, hoping one day you'll get on the big times, whether it be WWE or Impact or whatever the case may be. You know what you're getting into the moment you sign on.
Yeah.
And so when you get an injury and you deem that person that gave you the injury did it on purpose, you're basically defeating yourself, because you knew what you were getting into the moment you decided, hey, I want to train to be a pro wrestler, and you knew the risks involved.
Yeah.
But yet, the moment that something happens where you know, end up with, maybe a bloody nose, or you tear your meniscus, or whatever, you cry wolf, and shit hits the fan.
Yeah, like if I give Kyle a suplex, you know, it's not just me that has to work with it. He also has to work with it.
Exactly.
And so if he screws up, then hey, guess what? It's his ass, not mine.
Yeah. Another instance I just thought of where a wrestler got injured on an unintentional thing. I was watching a Ring of Honor match, and it was, I believe, Davey Richards against Paul London.
Oh, yeah.
And Paul London was laying on the apron, and Davey came over the top rope with a double stomp, and because Paul London was fairly sweaty, and both of Davey's feet landed on London's chest, they slipped on his chest and caught him right in the chin, gave him a concussion.
So that's why he's not wrestling no more. Huh. I mean, you know, you get this no concussion, or, you know, no hits to the head rule now, and I understand that. I mean,
Yeah.
Paul London, Chris Nowinski, you know, and this all should have happened before the whole Benoit incident.
True.
But, of course, you know, McMahon doesn't think about that.
No, apparently not.
So, I mean, look at other wrestling companies. They do chair shots.
Yes.
To the head.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and then you go all the way to Japan, and those people strike hard, man.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It's the best fucking thing I've ever seen. And, I mean, that's the way it should be. It's professional wrestling.
Yeah.
You know, it's same with MMA. You know, you look at how many accidents those people go into, and it's like, why don't you just stop the match? But the referee knows when to stop the match.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we said last week, you know, when Mick Foley was talking. He said that, you know, you think pro wrestling is fake, you get injured, you still finish the match.
Yeah.
In UFC, you get injured, and then the ref will stop the fight. So, I mean, there's a lot of different changes from 96 to 18.
Yeah.
But
You get knocked out briefly back in 98. Well,
Yeah.
you're more than likely going to be able to finish the match. Nowadays, if that happens, you're screwed.
pretty much, yeah.
And it all goes back to what I was talking about, I believe it was our last video. You don't see chair shots to the head in wrestling matches anymore, or if you do, it's very rarely, depending on the wrestling promotion itself. It's because there's a lot more attention paid to concussions and concussion protocol and all this other stuff, and brain injuries and all this other stuff now than there was, say, in 98 and further back. A lot more attention paid to wrestlers getting concussions and giving them time off and doing all necessary things to make sure they don't get a concussion again.
Exactly.
I mean, hell, perfect example of that, Daniel Bryan.
Oh, yeah.
He had to retire because of head issues, and so he was out for like 3 years.
Yeah.
And then he went to a number of different specialists, and they examined him and they said, okay, you've recovered enough, you can go back to wrestling.
Which,
And his ring style now, yes, it's still in your face, aggressive, hard hitting, and all over the place, but he's really toned it down as far as doing a suicide dive through the ropes onto an opponent against the barricade, the diving headbutt,
yeah.
etc., etc.
Exactly. I mean, Steve Austin is another example,
Yeah.
He had to change his style after he broke his neck, And obviously, there was no ill will towards Owen and Steve.
No.
But it's just another one of those things where accidents happen.
Yeah.
Owen Hart passed away because there was an unfortunate accident.
Uh-huh.
And I know we'll get more into that next year because it'll be 20 years that Owen fell. So, stay tuned for that. But in the case of Brie Bella Brie Bella.
Brie Bella
And,
Liv Morgan.
you have to understand that, there shouldn't be really any ill will. I'm sure it was an accident, although I do wonder. Okay, so she kicked Liv in the head a few times, and then she runs over, and then she kicks Ruby Riott in the nose.
Right.
Do you not know what you're doing? Like, is this just adrenaline? But you just injured 2 people.
Yeah, but when you look at the end of the match, Ruby Riott seemed to be just fine, and meanwhile,
Yeah.
Liv Morgan's in a crumpled heap on the floor.
Yeah. So it's just another unfortunate mishap, and
I believe too, it's more than likely going to be one of those things where in the heat of the moment, she's
yeah,
got adrenaline going, she's upset, she's all fired up. She tried to intentionally injure me, she kicked me in the face, she broke my nose, let's say, if that's what actually happened. I don't want to wrestle with her anymore, fire her, go off on a tangent, blah, 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 blah. And then maybe once have time to, unwind, settle down, think things through, go, maybe she wasn't trying to injure me. It was part of the match. We had discussed it. I knew what I was getting into when we were doing the match, and it was an accident. Who knows? But for right now, it's arrivederci, Brie Bella.
Arrivederci, auf Wiedersehen. Yeah, sayonara, all that good shit. So, I guess. Well, she'll come back. And we'll see what happens. I actually like Liv Morgan, even in NXT.
Oh, yeah.
The tomboy, sporty gimmick, I guess. Anyways, yeah, so
I like to think of Liv Morgan when she was in NXT as Carmella 2.0.
Yeah, I guess. Anyway, on with our regularly scheduled program. The Man Classic, we said last week we would go talk about it. And holy shit, I'm very impressed. Well, I'm very impressed this season. And I'm not saying last season was bad.
No.
I just think you got a whole lot of
Really good talent.
very good, talented female wrestlers. And yeah, it's just unreal. You've got a lot of wrestlers from TNA even. I mean,
Yeah, you've got a lot of unknown wrestlers that are getting different set of eyes put on them, and some returning people,
yeah,
and some other people from outside of WWE that are getting a fresh set of eyes
hmm
put on them, for example. So,
yeah.
I mean,
I got
Ashley.
Ashley.
Yeah, Sienna.
Oh well, Sienna. Nobody.
Not Ashley. Allison Kay is what I meant to say. Allison Kay. Sienna. Mia Yim.
Yeah, Jade.
Who's Jade in Impact Wrestling.
Yeah.
Karen Q.
Oh yeah. There was
Mercedes Martinez.
Madison Rain or Ashley Rain.
Yeah.
You got Celeste Bonin, aka Caitlyn.
Caitlyn.
You know, that's pretty cool. And the fact is too, last year with Serena D,
Yes.
you know, her coming back after her, you know, troubled few years, I guess, and coming back stronger than ever. And then you have Caitlyn, who obviously check out her channel, and she blogs about everything, and
Yeah.
going through divorce, going through issues herself, and then coming back.
Starting up her own business.
Yeah, starting up her own business, getting tattoos, and looking hot. And then, you know, just kind of like, that's her redemption story.
Oh, yeah.
You know, older, wiser, and hot. So, she had some really good matches, too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she's not the... Well, she's still a powerhouse, but she's not as defined. Like, the muscle definition in her body isn't as out there as it used to be. Like,
Yeah.
you could tell her first go around in WWE, she looked, forgive the terminology, butch.
Yeah, and
She had like the really big arms and the wide shoulders and all this other stuff.
Never
Nah.
forget her thing with AJ. Oh, Caitlyn Smash!
Caitlyn looks more feminine, you could say.
Well, she changed her lifestyle. She became vegan. I guess that works.
I mean,
Uh,
not really saying that there was anything wrong with the way she looked before. It's
No.
just she looked a lot more muscular back then than she does now.
yeah, I guess. But I mean, the match that she had, I can't remember who she faced in the last go around, but
Yeah.
the spear, you know.
She can still do
Yeah.
that as good as ever.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, you got people from, like, 2 people from Canada, you know,
Yes.
Vanessa Craven and the other one.
Oh, I can't remember. But yeah, of course you had Vanessa Craven eliminated in the first round, but then have her turn around and go right back to Smash.
Yes. Yeah, that was interesting. It happens, though, and then...
I mean, I'm sure she's happy where she is in Smash with her contract in Smash. Of course, she's a member of Malice, so
Yeah.
she's probably going to run with that as long as possible.
For sure.
Maybe when her contract comes up, whatever that might be, and she says, hey, I enjoyed what I did in the Mae Young Classic. I like WWE. They treated me very good. Whatever. She might go back to WWE. I don't know. But right now, she's with Smash.
Yeah, and the last show I saw, because I did tape more, but seeing Sienna versus Jade. Well, you know,
Yeah.
that was
a good match.
And it was like,
The continuation of a frenemies rivalry.
yeah. You look at,
Of course, it all started when Mia Yim broke Allison's nose in
Yeah.
the match.
Yeah, and it's just kind of trying to return the favor. But
Yeah.
I mean, it was still an awesome match, and they wrestled on the outside. See, that's the thing that really impresses me nowadays, is that the women, I mean, when I was little, and it's not a sexist thing, I just didn't give a shit about women's wrestling.
And I think not very many people did. That's why, and if when they had matches, it was maybe 30 seconds to a minute tops.
Yeah, and then you go to the Attitude Era. You've got Lita, Trish, Ivory, Jazz, Tori, if she even wrestled. Yeah, Victoria. All those women did a lot better in their matches than half the guys.
And it was at that point that people started really to give more of a shit about women in wrestling. And then fast forward to 2011, I believe it was, and the whole Give Jeeves a Chance revolution that started on Twitter.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So,
and I know I said something a while ago about the whole woke movement thing, and I'm not exactly. I haven't changed my mind a little bit, maybe. I mean, I have my whole grief about that still.
yeah.
Maybe, yeah, of course, I was a little harsh on it, but it's kind of hard to explain. But anyways,
Right.
so you go to this match. You got two women. One's from China,
Yep.
and then one's from. Well, she's of Chinese descent.
Yes.
And again, I don't know their names.
Well, wasn't that Karen Q and I can't remember the other woman's name, but they both bow to each other, and
Yeah.
then it looks like they're gonna do like a martial arts.
Yeah,
fight.
Kung Fu,
Yeah.
which is it's kind of interesting, because my life, I mean, your life too, probably. Japan was always the star of the Asian market.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, New Japan Pro Wrestling, All Japan Pro Wrestling,
Noah.
Pro Wrestling Noah.
And, you didn't really think about China or any other Oriental
No.
country, and so, last few years, the first Chinese pro wrestler in NXT, Ho,
Hold
yeah, and then you got these women who did kung fu moves in the ring, and
Fuck, did the crowd ever pop for
oh god, yeah, and they did one hell of a match. There's
Oh,
actually
absolutely.
one match that happened, and again, I can't remember their names, but one was from Japan, and the other one was from, I think, Portugal or Brazil. And they put on one hell of a match. I mean,
Oh yeah.
you obviously look at Japan, but Brazil has that Muay Thai, MMA background.
Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, and
background.
that really was impressive, and I can't wait to see what else happens. And
We'll talk about a female wrestler from Brazil in this week's episode of the Mae Young Classic. There was Tainara Conti.
oh yeah,
She's from Brazil, and she really shows that background of. Well, I think she has a background in either maybe it's both Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu, or just Jiu-Jitsu or something. Of course, she has the black belt.
yeah,
And, when she won her match against Jessie
Alban.
Alban, well, even first initially lost when she was in the first Mae Young Classic, up until this year's, she really had that determination, passion, will, desire to participate in the Mae Young Classic again. and then she gets the okay or whatever that she's going to be in the Mae Young Classic again. And when she won the match, you could tell it meant something to her. Well, even there, like, there's a few women that, after they won their match, you could tell it really meant something to them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the cool thing about it, too, is that they can kick each other's ass and have a super good match, but at the end of it, show respect. And that's
Well, yeah, absolutely.
kind of pretty. That's really cool to see that, you know. I mean, there's really no heels or faces
No.
right now. It's kind of like the Cruiserweight Classic in a way, you know. They didn't have that kind of aspect, right? You know. But, I mean, it's pretty cool to see. And
Yeah, absolutely.
I enjoy watching it, and again, like, the women are fucking tough.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
It's like, yeah, I mean, you even watch MMA, and, you know, I actually was watching it the other day, and I can't remember her name, but it was a highlight of her matches, and, yeah, they're just brutal. Yeah, look at the guys' matches, and yeah, you get a hit and miss, but a woman is just, you know,
Oh,
one after the other. Yeah, it's awesome.
yeah. Talk about respect, though. You look at that one match with Reina Gonzalez and the other girl she was opposed against that was like a foot shorter than her.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Ends up beating Reina, and, you know, they announce like the other girl won, and
well, you got the 6 foot whatever woman, and then
Yeah.
this short woman, and you think, oh god, that's not a fair fight.
it's
And,
gonna be a one-sided ass whooping.
yeah, it turns out to be the exact opposite.
But after the match, it looks like, you know, they shake hands and Reina pulls her in. It's like, ooh, what's gonna happen? Packs her up and puts her on her shoulder, and it's like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, that's good sportsmanship, and
Yeah.
you know, it's really cool to see that every now and then.
Even with that match, Karen Q and the other woman, after the match, they, of course, bow to each other again and then
Mhm.
hug each other, and it's like, it's not only respect for each other, but it's knowing that both of them represented their culture really well in a match on American soil in front of however many people, Full Sail holds
Yeah,
10, or, you know, 6, 7, 8,000, whatever. Even if it's less than that, whatever.
it's great to see all these women from other countries, you know,
Oh yeah.
countries that you wouldn't even think of. And so, it's like one of those things where you think how cool the WWE can be at
Yeah.
bringing wrestlers from other countries, and it's unfortunate that, well, even with the Cruiserweight Classic,
Yes.
you had people represent countries, but they were American. Well, that happened to be of whatever country they were representing.
Yeah, I mean, you had TJP, who's from LA, but he's Filipino descent.
Yeah. I mean, that's not to say, you know, you had Kota Ibushi for a while,
Right.
and Jack Gallagher was obviously English.
Right.
You had, you know, I had a ton of those guys.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, that were from that country.
Yeah.
But it's like, to see these women from China and Canada and Brazil, you know, it's pretty cool to see that. It's really exciting to watch awesome matches too.
There's even a woman, a masked woman, I can't remember her name, but she's the first female Chilean
Mm.
wrestler to wrestle in America.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and I think that we'll see where these women go. I mean, Caitlyn, hopefully, and that's the thing that really bothered me too, because Serena D lost her match, and like she's backstage NXT, I think.
She's, I believe, a coach at the Performance Center.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, if Caitlyn loses the tournament, then, I don't know where she's going to end up, although, yeah.
Well, she might end up with a WWE contract, potentially, but it may be a part-time contract or whatever, because, she's still got this business that she's running, and she's gonna stay on top of that as much as possible. I'm sure she's got really good people backing her that are running the ship tightly while she's doing the Omega Classic thing. But once that's all said and done, who knows what the future will hold for her, but I'm sure she'll make a decision. Like, as much as she, I'm sure, enjoys running her own business and, doing what she's doing outside of WWE, her passion is still wrestling. So, I'm sure given the opportunity to wrestle in WWE again, as away from the Mae Young Classic, she'll probably take it. Whether or not it'll be full time or not, that remains to be seen. But for right now, just take it in stride and see where it takes you.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking about the first, women anything, I guess. What do you think about the Evolution pay-per-view next month?
It's shaping up to be pretty good.
Yeah.
You've got Trish Stratus who's going to be in a match for the first time in like 7-8 years. You've got Lita that's going to be in a match for the first time in, I think, the same amount of time, maybe a little more. I think there's probably going to be a few other female legends, if you want to go that route. Or, well, legends, Hall of Famers. Participate, I'm sure, in some capacity for the Evolution pay-per-view. But so far it's seeming to turn out pretty good.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, I'm trying to get used to the idea, I guess. I won't get into it. But it should be interesting, and nonetheless, anyways.
Yeah.
Let's see. No, that must be it.
Well, we can probably talk about matches we're interested in, or maybe looking forward to seeing for the second round.
Okay.
So we've got Miko Satomura against Mercedes Martinez, Lacey Lane against Tainara Conti, Tony Storm against Ryo Matsumoto, Mia Yim against Caitlyn, Tegan Knox against Nicole Matthews, Rhea Ripley against Casey Catanzaro, forgive me if I brutalize that, Io Ray, I probably screwed that up too, against
Zaya, you?
Whichever.
Yeah.
And then Deonna Purrazzo against
Well, that's Zaya.
Xia Li.
Zaya Lee, yes. Oh, I see where you were going. Yeah.
I think Mia Yim and Caitlyn should be a good match.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. Those two definitely. Like, with Allison, and Mia, it was like one of the best matches of the night. They obviously know each other, so it was like really cool to see those two in a WWE ring.
Yes.
you still have the pinkies up, so
Yeah.
the character, you know, died, but it was almost like it's just a name change, which is weird, but anyways. But you got a lot of these Japanese wrestlers coming in. I think that's cool. Of course, you've got the Chinese wrestlers as well. And then the Canadian Vanessa Craven.
Right.
And I can't remember the other one's name, but the returning Tony Storm. Definitely. I mean, she lost last year to Kairi Sane.
Right.
So it's like, it's interesting to see what she brings to the table
Yes.
this year, which I think is cool. I mean, bringing the rock and roll image as well, and just, yeah, she is really good at what she does, obviously, and I can't wait to see this, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hiro Masamoto is probably one of the best ones in that tournament as well.
Yeah.
We got a lot of really cool wrestlers
Oh yeah,
this
absolutely.
year, like I said, and I can't wait to see what happens next week. And obviously, I still have a few episodes taped on my PVR, but I mean, it's very cool to see that. It's also very cool to see Beth Phoenix and Renee Young.
On commentary, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You know, I think that I'm not sure what's going to happen for this Evolution pay-per-view, but I'd like to see an all-female announce team.
Yeah, that would be good.
It'd be also, I mean, you have a female referee.
Yes, well, there's two actually.
Oh, there's two now.
Yeah, there was the redhead,
Okay.
and then this week there was a new female referee that debuted.
Hmm.
Yes.
So it's going to look like a good show, obviously.
I believe it will be.
I think the winner goes on to wrestle.
I believe, yeah, the finals of the Mae Young Classic this year will take place at the Evolution pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I believe so. I think that'll be a lot of fun. So, before we go, let's talk about the next episode. It's 100 episodes. This will be episode 100. I don't know why I'm repeating myself. It'll be a lot of fun.
100 already.
I'm trying to figure out all day what we should do it on.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure. We'll talk about it, obviously.
Yes.
So, and yeah, I think that's about it. I think that, like we said, this is an awesome roster for this year's Mae Young Classic. So, that's pretty much it.
Yep. I think so.
So, we'll wait till next week. And, yeah. Obviously, we'll try to think of something. And 100 episodes. And maybe, who knows? We'll see what happens.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
I mean, Matt. This is Killer Kyle. And yes, we will see you next time.
Peace.
Deuces.